Imagine discovering that the most powerful mind hack used today by psychologists, neuroscientists, and self-development experts was already being practiced by Muslims 1400 years ago. A technique so simple that anyone can do it in seconds, yet so deep that modern science still cannot fully explain how it rewires the brain. The ancient practice is this: the power of conscious, intentional focus, known in Islam as niyyah. Before Muslims act, they set a clear intention, not just what they are doing, but why. And today, psychology finally caught up and calls this cognitive priming, the act of programming the mind before an action so the brain performs at a higher level. When a Muslim begins anything with Bismillah, something powerful happens. Modern neuroscience shows that when you consciously pause, breathe, and set a meaning to your action, your brain shifts from stress mode into clarity mode. The amygdala calms down, the prefrontal cortex lights up, you make better decisions, you become more focused, you become more grounded. Tell me that isn't incredible. A phrase that takes less than 1 second actually changes your mental state. Muslims were practicing emotional regulation and focus training long before psychology invented the words for it. But that's not the only ancient mind hack hidden inside Islam. Another is muraqabah, the awareness that Allah is watching you. Psychologists today call this self-monitoring. Studies show that when a person feels observed, even if no one is around, their behavior improves. They become more honest, more responsible, more patient. But Muslims were trained to live like this every single day, move with consciousness, speak with purpose, act with accountability. Imagine how powerful your life becomes when you know your actions matter on a level deeper than the world can see. There is also dhikr, the remembrance of Allah. Modern psychology calls this mindfulness, but there is a difference. Mindfulness today tells you to watch your breath. Dhikr tells you to anchor your mind to a higher power, to remove ego, chaos, and anxiety through repetition of meaning. Neuroscientists found that repeated meaningful phrases calm the nervous system, slow the heart, regulate breath, and break negative thought loops. Muslims were doing this 14 centuries ago. Long before mental health became a trend, Islam was training people to manage stress, control thoughts, and rebuild inner peace using simple daily practices. And then there is sabr, patience, but not passive patience, active patience. Psychology calls it delayed gratification, one of the strongest predictors of success in life. The Quran teaches that true strength is not in muscles, but in mastering your emotions. The Prophet said, "The strong person is not the one who can overpower others, but the one who can control himself in anger." Neuroscience confirms this. When you regulate anger instead of reacting, you build emotional intelligence, deeper relationships, and long-term stability. Islam taught emotional intelligence before psychology even existed. Here's the question: how did a religion from 1400 years ago understand the mechanics of the mind so accurately? How did it shape emotional regulation, mindfulness, intention setting, habit formation, moral behavior, and mental resilience long before science discovered these concepts? Maybe the answer is simple. Because it didn't come from human trial and error, it came from the one who created the human mind. If you apply these ancient mind hacks today, niyyah for clarity, dhikr for peace, sabr for emotional strength, muraqabah for self-awareness, your life transforms. Your thoughts become cleaner, your focus becomes sharper, your emotions become balanced, your heart becomes calmer, and you start to live with the type of inner power that modern psychology is only beginning to understand.